guys, and welcome to Why Not So. My name is Lucretia L. Welcome back, guys. Alright, so it is now June 1st. I know I have not been on here for I think a couple of weeks. Last weekend it was time to put the garden in, and truthfully guys, it has been almost 90 degrees and I don't have central air. So basically I have been trying to spend most of my time outside. And so, but I did get some sewing done, and I want to have a pattern review, and I want to have a pattern review on Simplicity 8347. So here is 8347. And this is for the 15 dresses of the summer for my little girl. And this is per, from this pattern I made two of these dresses. And this actually wasn't a dress, it was the romper in view C. And guys, so let me tell you, let me give you my overall view of this. This is an easy pattern to sew. You do have to become familiar with using bias tape. Basically, that's the most technical portion of the whole romper set, or how to make this collar. This collar that is kind of ruffles at the top of it. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about view C on the romper. And overall, I love how easy it was to put this together. And everyone's view, because she wore both sets of rompers. She wore the black one and she wore the white one. And I mean, truthfully, I got really positive reviews on this romper. People thought that she was totally adorable. I even got asked, where did I buy it? And I had the pleasure of saying, I made it. And yes, I sewed just so I can say that. Anyway, so here is the white romper. And I'm going to show you pictures of her in her romper. And I mean, truthfully, it was really plain looking the whole time, or the whole while I was sewing it, until you had to put the elastic in the neckline and on the sleeve, and that's where the magic came in. Once you put that elastic in and the ruffling effect happens, then it turned this really simple plain romper into something that was really creative and beautiful. And I mean, so here's the back, here's the front with the little bow on top of it. Let's see. Now the instructions. Okay, so this is the pattern review. I'm going to talk straightforward to Simplicity, what I feel they can do to improve the sewing experience on patterns. If I am reading the instructions on the pattern, chances are I am a new sewer. I'm a beginning sewer. And even though I know a lot of sewing lingo by this time, there are still things I don't know. On this pattern, and I want to talk about where it got to instruction number 10, I believe. And I'm going to open this up to read exactly what Simplicity wrote on here. And excuse me, I'm sorry, instruction number 10. It has in bold letters, narrow hem. And then it says, long edge of sleeve 2 with small dots. With right sides together, stitch sleeve to front armhole in a 3/8 seam, matching small dots. If you would have put a couple more words, or, you know, in there, instead of always trying to abbreviate your passages, it would make this a lot easier to understand. Along the narrow hem, the long edge of the sleeve is where they wanted me to work, but they abbreviated everything. I was really confused and really had to take some time looking at the picture, which the picture is not good, trying to figure it out. And to me, it would have been a lot simpler if you just added a few more words like is, the, along this portion. I don't know, something that's not going to make it you know, something that was not going to add money to the instructions. I mean, it's not going to make this any longer. It would just gave me more, it gave me enough information to figure out what the heck I was doing. So on instruction number 10, I did not like that, but I did figure it out. Once I figured it out, the rest of the construction of the romper went very easily. So when you get to that portion, they want you to work along the long edge of the narrow sleeve of the hem or something like that. And just work through it. I know I had problems with it. Maybe it's just me. And if it is, and if you can understand exactly what they're talking about down there, or you never have this problem, you know, I really want to hear y'all comments and let me know that maybe it's just my inexperience. Maybe you guys don't want to listen to, read all those directions. But I find that books with a lot more directions tend to be more helpful. You tend to have more success putting those garments together. And I figured that Simplicity do want us to be successful putting their pattern pieces together to create these wonderful garments. And like I said, if they just added a few more words, it would help me. Just saying. Alright guys, so I basically got the garment together. There was no more problems after that, but you know, basically just trying to patiently read along, trying to figure out where the dots were at. And I put it together, and I was making 2 at one time, so everything took twice as long to do it. So I'm pretty sure it will go a lot faster and simpler if you just creating one. But yeah, so my daughter loved it. She put it on, and as soon as she put it on, no offense, I was told to make more. My mom was just like, girl, you need to make more of these in almost every other color. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that went very well. So if I had to recommend buying this, if I had to recommend my experience with this pattern, if I was to give it a rating from 1 to 10, my experience with the pattern would be an 8. Only because there is some lack of instructions, I feel, or some add words they need to put in the instructions. I know that's my beef. But the actual garment is wonderful. Oh, there's also one little thing I need to add to this. So when I constructed the garment and put it on her, I did do the sizing that the package recommended on the back. I also did the seam allowance that the package recommended on the back. And one of the things that I found that I have problems with, it looked gorgeous on her. I was just seriously thinking that the next time I do this, I need to do it in a 4 instead of the 3. And only because, not because it didn't fit in the arms or around the rump or anything, the crouch looked like it was getting a little too close to her actual crouch. And, you know, so I don't want this to shape her. I don't want this to cut up in between her. And I just felt like it needed to be longer. And I wish I had now done the size 4. I did it to her measurement. She tends to be on the very, she tends to be on the very minimum guidelines. If it's like 21 or 20, she's right there at that 20 marker. She doesn't have much of a waistline. She doesn't have much of a, she's not very tall. She's a very, when it comes to very average height kids, my kid is always in the 50th percentile. She doesn't go, she's never in the 75th percentile, and she's never below the 50th percentile. She's always in that 50th percentile. She's an average height, average weight kid. And so I did follow their measurements, and yes, it was I felt like a little short in the crouch area. So that means I'm just going to do a size 4 instead of the size 3 next time. Other than that, like I say, guys, I would definitely give this an 8 out of 10 as far as, you know, being able to construct this on a beginning level. Like I said, I had issues with the instructions, but maybe with me talking about the instructions so badly, you guys would probably have a better idea of how to put, construct the armhole together better than I did, especially since this was the first time I did this type of construction with armholes. I started sewing in October, so the first thing I started sewing was the first thing I did was learn how to put sleeves on a shirt. And I never got to make any of the summer tops, and these are the first time I'm making these summer tops. So, you know, so I definitely had to pay attention to how to construct this, as it was a different armhole than I am used to doing. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe. Bye.